Hello, this is Mrs. Collins, and I want to take a little bit of time to talk about expectations and routines in-person learning and expectations for online learning. Our class norms are to be prepared, be respectful, be trustworthy, be on time, and be engaged. We discussed what this means in class in person, but here's a quick overview. Classroom routines. Please come into the classroom quietly and ready to learn. When you walk in the door, it is time to work and focus on your learning. Please get out your MacBook and open up our Echo Classroom. Your next step is to read the Echo agenda and get started on the warm-up or jumpstart activity. Remember, oftentimes this is how I will be taking attendance. So it's really important that you do the jumpstart activity. Then the next step is to read the daily announcements. They're really important reminders, and if you take the time to read them, we can jump right in to our daily activities and workshops. Finally, please wait for further instructions unless the agenda says to move forward on individual learning, work time, or research. We haven't talked about food and drinks yet, so I wanted to mention it here. There can be no food or drinks in the photography studio room. It is a safety hazard. That's why the rule is there. There are many cords and cables in the photography studio, as well as expensive equipment. Unless, of course, it is a photography project that we do approve in advance and we clean up together. Food and drink are allowed in the photography classroom, but the food and drink cannot be near any computers, camera equipment, or printers. Drinks should have a lid on them of some type. Please do not bring messy food or snacks into the photography classroom. I have this silly picture on here of Cheeto fingers. So, for example, no Cheetos, powdered donuts, sunflower seeds, or buffalo wings. Yes, I've really had a student bring buffalo wings into class before. We need to use our hands to touch and use equipment, and they need to be clean before we can do so. I need you to clean up after yourself. This year, it's really important that we follow cleaning procedures and disinfect all shared workspaces. We've already learned part of this process where you will clean up your desk and chair after using them. We will need to do the same thing when we use camera equipment, shared printing stations, or the matting station as well. So, remote learning. I hate to even mention this, but in case we have to go back to virtual learning from home, we need to have some processes in place to be prepared. Or if you happen to be sick, or someone in your family is sick, or you have to stay home for a while, for multiple days, we have a plan for what we can do for remote learning. The good news is your learning does not have to stop and shouldn't stop when you're at home. And at New Tech, the expectation is if you miss a day of school, you should keep track and keep up with what you missed on the agenda. When you miss a day, please don't walk into class and say, "Mrs. Collins, what did I miss yesterday?" You should know before you walk in the room what you missed, because it's all posted in our online learning classroom that you can see and read and should stay up with us in the class, even if you're absent for 1 day or 5 days or longer. So as I mentioned, we have an online classroom. It's called Echo, where you can see everything that we have posted in our daily agendas. Your parents can see all of our learning resources, activities, all tutorials. Your parents can see your grades. Our administrators can see your grades. We can even see how long you're working on an activity. Now, what that means is we can see what you click on, how long you work on it, when you submit it, it's time stamped. So bottom line is our online classroom is where we'll do the work, where you'll have resources to use, and it is user friendly for parents as well. So here's some information from our district administration that was sent out to parents this year. And what I wanted to make sure was that students knew about it too. There was a section in it about student responsibility for online learning. What the paper said, or what the document said, was that students should log in to all classes daily via their online classroom when not on the school campus. And students should be responsible for all work assigned unless otherwise noted by their teacher. Instructional materials will be available to you in Echo or our online classroom by 8:15 a.m. each day. Students will complete assignments in our online classroom in Echo and submit their work electronically. Attendance will be collected through the use of Echo and the completion of assignments and activities or other communication methods. I've asked you to complete the daily jumpstart for us to collect your online attendance. Students will be participating in online interaction, and we have to adhere to all public school handbook rules. The handbook is on the district website. My plan is for us to use Google Meet for video meetings. At this time, my plan is to pre-record as much as possible to give you flexibility in your schedule. And I'm going to ask that you do check Echo daily for more information and details of what projects we'll be working on. This is my plan to pre-record meetings and not have a live class meeting every day. I say that because I know that some of you have 4 other siblings at home, or you're the most creative at 6 o'clock at night and not 8 o'clock in the morning. So I want to be flexible to your schedule and your needs when you're working from home. We have lots of expectations for video meetings, video chats, and we need to be professional in our communication. Yes, it's okay for us to be silly sometimes, but jokes can go too far really fast. So I'm going to ask you that in our video meetings and video chats is that you communicate with me in a professional way. Here's some tips for you about Google Meet and video meetings. Dress for success. Wear what you would wear to school, work, or people call it business casual. Backgrounds matter. Keep your background simple with no distractions, because some of the things in your background might distract other people from learning. Be seated for the meeting and stay seated until the meeting is over. Keep your camera on during the meeting. Keep your microphone off or muted unless it's your turn to speak. If you leave it on, it creates feedback if lots of people are on the video meeting call. Please be present and ready to learn and focused and engaged in your video meetings. I have many more tips for you on video conferencing etiquette, and I'm not going to read all of this to you, but I'll provide this presentation if we learn from home, then you have more resources to learn how to professionally do video conferencing. The quick overview on this is to prepare your workspace in advance. Get your camera set up and ready before the meeting starts. Notify other people in your household that you're having a meeting. For example, you could hang a sign up on your door so that other people don't come up and interrupt you. Mute your microphone and manage your sounds. If we're on a video call and then you're typing notes on your keyboard, it can be very loud if your microphone is on. Please be respectful when other people are talking, and there's usually a delay, so it's good to pause and talk slow on video meetings. So we already talked about this. Keep your camera turned on and be engaged in the meeting. Join video conference sessions early. A rule of thumb is about 5 minutes early. This way, you can check and make sure there are no tech updates or connection issues, and you have time to deal with them and not be late to the meeting. On camera. We don't want to eat while we're on camera, chew gum, or have candy. We want to stay focused on our learning. If you're in a large video conference, it's a-okay to raise your hand so that you can be unmuted, or you can unmute so you can speak and present. Remember, there's lag time. My intention is for us to use the Remind app to remind each other about assignments and equipment. So this will be another way we can communicate. So that's the basics on video conferencing meetings if we need to use them in the future. We have all the tools at our fingertips to be amazing at online learning. And I'm just going to ask that if you are learning from home remotely, that you do focus on trying to continue your learning through research and being engaged in Echo. And if you have connection issues, to please contact me via phone or email. We still need to continue our learning even when we're not at school. The world is a wonderful place to learn, and learning doesn't just happen from 8 a.m. to 3:35 p.m. It happens all the time. That's the basic of in-person learning and my plan for virtual or remote learning. Thanks for watching.